Good morning and welcome to Raw Yoga with me, Ruth Steele. So this morning we're going to be doing an energizing yoga flow practice. It's going to be suitable for all levels and I hope you enjoy. So come into a space on your mat. If you need any extra blocks or cushions, then please do grab them now and just pop them under your sit bones as we're here on our shins, just to stabilize yourself and lift you a little further off the ground. We're going to come into our body here just by rolling the shoulders up to the ears and dragging them down the back a few times here. Inhale up. Exhale, drag them back and down. Be loud, be proud with the breath. And once more. Settling those shoulders down away from the ears now. Just resting the hands on top of the thighs, palms facing up. And if you're comfortable, we'll close the eyes here and continue to breathe in and out through the nose. If you're familiar with Ujjayi breathing, then introduce that now. By slightly constricting the back of the throat as we breathe in and out through the nose. Continue to breathe here and start breathing deeper down into the base of your tummy. As you inhale, tummy expands. As we exhale, tummy relaxes. So setting our intentions for this morning, let's just come into this present moment and be grateful for the breaths we are taking. A body that is functioning. And if you're watching this, then we are among the privileged with some form of device or screen that we're watching this on. So just being thankful for those things and setting our intentions to energize this morning. Sometimes when we're feeling a bit lackluster, we wish that we were in a different situation, that we'd had more sleep, or that we were feeling different than we currently are. So by coming into this present moment and just being grateful for all that simply is, we're setting ourselves in good stead to find energy exactly where we are. Bringing the hands now into Anjali Mudra, just in front of the chest. Take one more deep breath here. Begin palming the hands together, get them filled with heat and energy. And just gently cup the hands over the eyes until it's pitch black. Open the eyes inside and begin rolling clockwise. Just noticing how much light you can make out, any shapes. And change direction, going the other way. And take this energy to the rest of the body, arms and legs. Good. Coming onto all fours now. Making sure that the wrists are directly below the shoulders and the knees directly below the hips for our cat and cow. As we inhale, relax the tummy, lift the tailbone, start to look up. And as you exhale, drop the tailbone round through the back and draw the navel in towards the spine. Inhale, relax the tummy, lift the tailbone. Exhale, drop the tailbone round and push the upper back up to the ceiling like an angry cat. Inhale, tummy relaxes. Exhale, think angry cat now. Really draw in that tummy button and you can squeeze in the pelvic floor. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's just do a few more here, mobilizing through the spine. Keep thinking angry cat on that exhale. And maybe on your inhale, start to think about opening the elbows out to the front and putting your heart through between the triceps. Once more here. Coming back into center with that neutral spine. We'll just take 3 swooping cats here. As we inhale, drop the elbows down towards the ground. Chest comes forwards and through, and as you exhale, round through the back, and the bottom comes towards the heels. Twice more. Keep familiarizing yourself with the breath. Last one. And as we exhale, bring the bum to heels, resting the forehead down towards the ground into our child's pose. Push the heels of your hands into the mat here, just encouraging the hips to settle back onto the heels. Inhale, ribs expand. And exhale, everything relaxes. Inhale, coming back towards to all fours now. Tuck the toes underneath. We're going to fire up the belly now as we inhale. And as you exhale, lifting the knees just an inch off the mat. See if you can really push the ground away from you here, a little bit like we did in that angry cat pose. Draw the navel to the spine and you can squeeze that pelvic floor muscle. We're really firing up the core, getting ready for our day with energy. Keep breathing now. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Either settle back down to our child's pose we were just in, or hips up towards the sky now, into our first downward facing dog. If you're still beginning your yoga practice, make sure you're bending the knees plenty and straightening the spine here. It's much more preferable to have bent knees and a straight spine than it is to have straight legs and a curved spine like this, if you can see the difference. So bend those knees, send the hips high to the sky, and forget about whatever the heels are doing. It doesn't matter if they touch the ground or not. Come back to that breath in your downward facing dog. Pushing the ground away from you. Good. From here we're going to take little steps, feet towards hands, coming towards the front of our mat. Now when you get there, we're just going to hold elbow to elbow, bend the knees generously, ragdoll here. Just shake the head side to side, release any tension from the neck. On your next exhale, we're going to roll up slowly through the spine. Last thing to come up is the head. We inhale, arms up at the top. Then exhale, hands down through Anjali Mudra. Good. From here, we're just going to warm up a little into the wrists. Keeping the hands in this prayer position, we're going to roll around the hands, trying to keep the heels of the wrists connected all the way around. Start getting used to those unusual sensations in the wrists, noticing if it's the same both sides, or maybe one wrist is a little more sore than the other, and that's perfectly normal. And change direction as well, go the other way. And settle back into that prayer position, pushing the heels down and lifting the elbows up to get an extra stretch into those wrists there. And shake out the wrists now. Bringing the feet together, big toes touching, heels slightly apart, or if you're more comfortable, you can have the feet just a little further, hip width apart. We're going to come into our sun salutation A here. Take a nice big inhale, draw up through the navel and the front body. And as you exhale, ground down through the back body and heels. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up. As you exhale, fold forwards, bend the knees generously, and we're just going to build with all the variations as we go here. Inhale, we're going to pull the shoulders, shoulder blades together, flattening the back. And exhale, fold forwards. Place the hands by the sides of the feet. Stepping back to our plank pose here. Draw that navel in and squeeze the butt cheeks. Lower the knees now, and as we exhale, we chaturanga down, bending the elbows, squeezing them in towards the ribs and sending the chin forwards. Aim to get 90 degrees in the arms here, and then lower all the way to the ground. Well done. Big inhale now, cobra. Sending the chest forwards and still squeezing those elbows in. And just test yourself here for another breath. See if when we release the hands, if we can stay where we are. So really get those back muscles energized and engaged. Good, exhale now, pushing into the hands. Coming back into that downward facing dog. Knees are nice and bent here. Send the tailbone high. 5 breaths. As we inhale, look towards the hands. Bend the knees and step in between. Flatten the back. Inhale. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands down through prayer. Inhale, reach up, gaze towards the hands. Exhale, folding forwards. Remember, you can keep those knees bent as we're just getting warmed up. Inhale, flatten the back. Drawing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold forwards. Stepping back to our plank now. Chaturanga down, elbows squeezing into the ribs. And inhale, baby cobra. If you want to test yourself again, go for it. As we exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Ground down through those fingertips here. Make sure the hands themselves are active. Pushing out through the shoulders, finding that external rotation. Notice what the tummy's doing here as well, if it's completely relaxed. Try and draw that navel in towards the spine, and that helps find a little more length in the spine itself. Good. Inhale, look towards the hands, bend the knees, and step forwards with the other foot this time if you can. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, reaching on up. Exhale, hands through prayer. Inhale, reach up, gaze to the hands. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, fold forwards, plant the hands and step it back to your plank. As you exhale, we chaturanga down. Remember, the knees can be lowered if you need them to be. Inhale, coming into cobra, or lift the hips off the floor and come to upward dog if you're familiar. As you exhale, heels towards the ground, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. 5 breaths. Ground through those fingertips. And remember, you can take a child's pose or a puppy dog, lowering the knees to the ground and just finding length in the spine as a variation at any time. It's really important to listen to your body and just practice exactly wherever you are in this moment. Yoga begins right where we are, not where we were yesterday or where we long to be. One of my favorite quotes there from Linda Sparrow. As we inhale, look forward to the hands, bend the knees, step in between, flatten the back. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands through prayer. Take a big cleansing breath here. Inhale. And exhale, just sigh out through the mouth. Good. Coming into a dancing warrior now. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step it back to our plank. Chaturanga down, however suits you, elbows hugging ribs. Inhale, open the heart, roll the shoulders back in cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg behind us, finding 3-legged downward dog. Make sure you keep the hips square here rather than opening them up. Exhale, we're gonna step this right leg through between the hands in a moment. But first of all, we're gonna take some core preparations. Not only are these gonna energize us, but they're gonna help us move forward with a good technique and alignment. So inhale in your 3-legged dog here. As you exhale, we're going to bring the leg towards the right armpit into our plank pose. Push the ground away and see if you can round the upper back, just like we did in the angry cat pose. And exhale, back to 3-legged downward dog. Inhale, come forwards. Round the upper back, push it to the ceiling. Exhale, 3-legged downward dog. Once more. Inhale, knee to armpit, push the ground away. Exhale, 3-legged dog, well done, you got it. This time we inhale, bring that knee towards the armpits. The same feeling, really rounding through the upper back, so that creates more space here for us to be able to step that right leg in between the hands. Good, planting that left foot, heel down, toes facing out. We're gonna inhale up to our warrior 2 pose. Virabhadrasana 2. So right toes are facing forward, left toes are facing out. We bend into that right leg and make sure that the knee's not overshooting the ankle there. We want the knee in line with the ankle. Bring the arms out by the sides of the body. We're gazing forwards over the right middle finger. Come back to the breath here. Find that traction, feeling as if the heels are pulling towards each other like magnets, activating our adductors and inside legs here. We have a neutral pelvis. Make sure we're not tilting forwards, giving it the Beyonce butt, and we're also not tucking underneath here. We want that pelvis just in the middle. On your next inhale, we're gonna flip that right palm up and reach up towards the sky. The back fingertips are just lightly resting on that back leg. Try not to dump the weight into the back leg here. Take one more big breath, opening the heart to the ceiling. And as you exhale, right elbow towards right knee, extended side angle here. Same thing here, try not to dump in that shoulder and into that right hip. We really want to extend out the shoulder and hip here and see if you can have a feeling of a little bit of space in that right hip flexor. Reach, reach, reach with the left hand. Finding a straight line all the way from the left fingertips down towards the left toes. Good. Big inhale now. Use the right thigh strength to come back to our warrior 2. As you exhale, circle the arms around either side of the front foot. Push the ground away. See if you can bring the nose to the knee before we step back to our plank. Exhale, Chaturanga down. Remember the knees can be lowered. Inhale, Cobra, opening the heart, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose for 3 breaths. Take the rest if you need it. Remember to listen to the body and practice self-love as well as self-discipline. Inhale, come forwards now, tuck the toes back to our plank. We'll take it straight back into our downward facing dog here. Good. As we inhale, the left leg's going to lift now, 3-legged downward dog on the other side. Keep the hips square rather than opening. Push the ground away and see if you've got equal weight in both hands. Let's take those core exercises when you're ready. We're going to inhale, bring the left knee towards the left armpit. Push the ground away and round through the upper back. Exhale, take it back to 3-legged downward dog. Try some more. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. Last time, really get that knee towards the armpit, push the ground away,
Exhale, three-legged downward dog. And now inhale, bring the left knee towards that left armpit. It's the same feeling, pushing the ground away to create space here, to step that left foot through. Plant that right heel down, the right toes turn out so that we inhale and reach up to our warrior two on the other side here. Checking your alignment. Are the arms in one straight line? Are the fingers active and reaching away from you? Come back to your breath. We've got a neutral pelvis here, and can you sink a little deeper into that lunge maybe? You got it, well done. As we inhale, flip that left palm up. We reach back, elongating through the side body and opening the heart. The back fingertips just lightly rest on that back leg. Take another big breath here. And as you exhale, left elbow towards the left knee, right arm reaches for extended side angle. See if you can find a little bit of rotation in the waist here. It's as if we're trying to gaze under that right armpit and turn the tummy button so it faces up. Remember not to dump in the left elbow and hip here like this. Keep extending out so we're using the strength of the body. If you're feeling the heat here, that's great, you're doing the right thing, you got it. Big inhale, use the strength of that left leg. Coming back to warrior two. Exhale, the arms circle around either side of the front foot. Push the ground away, lift that left heel, see if you can find knee to nose. And exhale, push it back to three-legged downward dog or child's pose for 3 breaths. Inhale, look towards the hands. Bend the knees, step in between, flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Take a big cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. Good. Inhale, we reach up tall, gaze to those hands. Find your energy. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, flatten the back now. Exhale, fold forwards, plant the hands either side of the feet and step to our plank pose. We're going to lower the knees together here. If you're feeling really strong and energized already, then keep them up in your full plank by all means. Otherwise, we're going to do 5 baby Chaturanga push-ups. Not only is this going to strengthen and perfect our form in our Chaturanga, but it's going to help heat build this morning and energize us. So wherever you're at, if you're settling the hips back here as I'm talking in more of an all-fours pose, that's absolutely fine. But shift the hips further forwards. See if you can get that straight line down the upper legs and the torso. Remember, we've still got wrists directly under the shoulders. Take a big inhale here. And as we exhale, send the chest forwards. Keep the elbows squeezing to the ribs. Exhale, Chaturanga. Find 90 degrees in the arms. Inhale, push it back up to where you are. You got it. Exhale, Chaturanga down. Elbows squeezing ribs. Inhale, push it up through the fingertips. You got it. Exhale, back down. Inhale, push it up. Exhale, take it down. Squeeze those butt cheeks too. Inhale, push it up. Last one. Exhale, down. As if we had a piece of paper between our butt cheeks. Squeeze, baby. Well done. Inhale, push it up. And exhale, bum towards heels, resting their forehead down to the ground into our child's pose. You can just let go of the arms this time, let them fully relax. You can even bring them down by the sides of the body to find even more relaxation here. Take the rest, find your breath, connect to yourself. In this moment you're taking, all these moments you're taking for yourself in your practice, to find your self-love so that you're really able to give your energy and love to others as well. Good, well done. Bringing the hands forwards now, come back to all fours. Tug the toes, lift the tailbone back into our downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we're going to lift that right leg again, three-legged downward dog. When you're ready, we're going to bend the right leg, and this time we're going to open those hips, finding elongation and length through the front of the body and the hip flexor. Straighten the leg once more, come back to three-legged downward dog. And when you're ready, step the right leg through between those hands. We're going to lower the left knee down towards the ground, coming down into our low crescent lunge here. And just lift the hands onto the hips, coming to center. Shift the hips back slightly and see if you can really tuck the tailbone underneath here. You'll feel an instant activation in the left hip flexor and all down that left front quad. And I want you to keep that tailbone tucking here. Imagine the left butt cheek was reaching towards the back of the left knee. We're drawing the navel in here. If this is enough, then stay right there and breathe. If you want a little more, see if you can start to bring the hips forwards, but keeping that tailbone tucking and that lengthening through the left hip flexor. In the right leg here, if you are bringing the hips forwards, feel as if that right knee is hugging in towards the midline and connecting through the navel. Finding stabilization and real grounding through the lower body, all the way down to the toes that are firmly planting into the floor. One more deep breath here. Good. Inhale, lifting the arms now. Coming into that low crescent lunge. Pull the shoulders down. Low crescent lunge, not lunge. Thinking about lunge already. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears here. Keep tucking that tailbone underneath. Let's find energizing in the upper body here as well. So inhale, look up. And as you exhale, take the elbows wide, goddess arms. Sigh out through the mouth. Inhale up. Exhale, sigh it out. One more, inhale up. Exhale, sigh it out. Lovely, bring the hands down either side of the front foot now. We're just going to tilt the hips forwards and back. Take your time, finding that length as we just did and the tailbone tucking in the front of the left hip flexor. And as you take the hips back, find a length in the right hamstring. And try and find length in your spine there at the same time. Sussing out all those niggles in your body this morning. And just flowing with it, with the breath. And the last one here. And then we're going to step the right foot back onto all fours. We'll take a full flow here, or just leave those knees down if it feels better. Chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. On that next inhale, lift the left leg, three-legged. We're going to bend the left leg now, open the hips, find that elongation and length down the front body. Straighten the leg once more. When you're ready, stepping left foot through between the hands. We'll settle that right knee down towards the ground, coming into our low crescent lunge. Spread the toes on that left foot, hands towards hips and bring the hips back. And the same thing on this side. See if you can tuck the tailbone underneath. Instantly we feel that lengthening on the right hip flexor and down the right quad. Breathe. If it feels good, keep it right where you are, or shift the hips forwards and try and keep that tucking of the tailbone. Right butt cheek is reaching towards the back of the right knee. Give yourself a smile here. Even if it's a fake smile, it still produces happy hormones. It's all good. You got it, well done. Inhale, lift the arms high. Shoulders down away from the ears. Let's energize here. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, elbows wide, goddess arms. Inhale up. Exhale. Elbows wide. One more. Good. Settle the hands down either side of that front foot. And just using your breath here. There's no set breath. We're just rocking the hips forwards and back. Finding the niggles this side. Really gently opening up through the body. Last one here. And then step that left foot back onto all fours or to your plank and take our flow here. Exhale, Chaturanga down, elbows squeezing ribs. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Bringing the knees to the ground, bum to heels. Rest the forehead down into our child's pose. Take the rest. Well done. When you're ready, lifting the torso, we're going to swing the legs round and come into a seated pose here. Just shifting the fleshy part of our bum out the way. Sit up really nice and tall on the sit bones here. Flex the ankles, reaching toes towards nose. Inhale, arms go high. As we exhale, reach up and over in our forward fold, seated forward fold here. And remember, it's the same thing as our downward facing dog. So if the legs are straight, but we've got a huge hunch in the back like this, then it's much more beneficial for the body to bend the legs, reach heart towards toes, and find that length in the spine. I'd much prefer to see you in this position, and even then we're getting a nice compression in the hip flexors and activation through the core, rather than just forcing the body and trying to compare ourselves to me or anyone else. So find where it's good for you in your forward fold. Well done. One more deep breath wherever you're at. Inhale, lift the torso back to center. Coming into our boat pose now, we're going to bend the knees and just start with the hands at the back of the thighs. Squeeze the knees together here and lift the toes off the ground. If this is enough, you can stay here. If you want a little more, option is to release the hands, keep length in the spine. We're going to work on our core here and really find some energy. Inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the knees, straighten the right leg. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten the left. Keep length in the spine. Inhale, bend. Heart's reaching to the ceiling. Keep going, you got it. If those legs are shaking, great, shake it to make it. We've got 5 more left here. Keep length in the spine. Connect to your breath. 4, 3, 2, and last one. If you want to try and straighten both, don't compromise in the spine, but you got it. We're here for 3, 2, 1, and lower down now, rolling all the way back on our mat now. Bring the knees in towards the chest and just give yourself a big hug. You earned it. You can rock side to side a little if you want. Whatever feels good here. Forwards and back. When you're ready, place the feet down on the ground, arms out towards the side, and just wind screen wide for the legs now. Knocking the knees side to side. Feel a little massage in the lower back. Bringing the feet back towards the center now. Cross the left leg over the right. You can single or double wrap, whatever feels good. Let the knees fall down to the right. We're going to look towards the left hand. Just finding a gentle twist in the lumbar spine. Try and keep both shoulder blades connected with the ground. Eyes closed. Deepen the breath. Coming back to the center. Uncross the legs. And cross the right leg over left now. Again, single or double wrap the legs, whatever feels good. Let the knees fall down to the left this time, and we look towards the right hand. Again, keeping both shoulder blades on the ground. Relaxing into the lower spine with each exhale as we deepen the breath. Bring the knees back towards center, uncross. Hug the knees into the chest once more here. And just bring the knees out to the sides as if we're pulling the knees in towards the armpits this time. Finding a little more compression in the hips. Keeping the knees where they are, then open the feet up towards the ceiling and flex the feet here. You can either interlock the fingers into the big toes or bring the hands around the outsides of the feet in our happy baby pose here. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, use the strength of your upper body to pull the feet downwards, bringing the knees down towards the ground, and aim to try and get a right angle here, 90 degrees between the upper and lower legs. Opening out through the back of the hips. You don't have to stay still here, you can wiggle a little side to side, work out some tension, or you can just be still. Find peace in stillness and find your breath in light discomfort, which in turn helps us with everything else in life. In order to progress, our bodies weren't meant to always be comfortable. We were meant to have light discomfort day to day in order to challenge us to grow and help us cope with all of the challenges we face day to day. Good, one more breath here. Really let it go. Good. Slowly releasing the feet now. We're going to either bound the ankles and let the knees fall to the side in Supta Baddha Konasana here, bound angle pose. Otherwise, if this isn't as comfortable for you, just take full Shavasana here, a foot in either corner of your mat. Push the back of your head into the ground and really tuck the shoulders underneath you so we've got space in the chest. The palms are facing up here. And come back to the breath and stillness in our Shavasana. If it helps you here, you can count the breath just from 1 to 10. Inhale 1. Exhale 2. And so on, just from 1 to 10. If you become distracted, that's perfectly normal. As soon as you realize, just come back to the breath, back to the number you were on, or starting again from 1. And feel free to stay here for as long as you like. Otherwise, when you're ready, bring a little movement back into the fingers and toes. And on an inhale, take the arms overhead with a full body stretch. Rolling onto your right hand side, bring the knees in. Let the head rest onto the arm in the fetal position. Just take 2 or 3 breaths here before bringing yourself back to a comfortable seated position.
And once more, if you need a block or a cushion, just to bring the hips a little further off the ground and find a little more ease, then please do. One last minute energizer here. We're going to inhale, lift the arms. Take the shoulders down away from the ears. Turn the palms so they're facing forwards towards me. In a moment, we're going to start clapping fingertips down to the palms and see if you can really get some sound, some audible sound going with those fingers. Here we go. Get the hands going even quicker. And really come back to that strong Ujjayi breath. We're drawing shoulders constantly down away from the ears. Lengthening in the spine. Energizing in the core here. We're here for 1 minute only. This is a minute energizer and great for adults, excitable children. If you teach yourself, or if you're in a classroom setting and you want to bring everyone's energy together, burn a little quick bit of energy so that we can bring more focus. This is a great way to do this. It's also great after that midday slump that we get after eating lunch. Keep going, you got it. If you started feeling that burning energy running down the arms, you're doing the right thing. Breathe. Remember, light discomfort in order to find progression and growth. Well done, you got it. Fingertips super duper quick now. Let's breathe. And we're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Open the palms wide now, and as slow as you can, as if in slow motion, we're going to lower the arms down by the sides, palms facing up. Open the chest and heart. Inhale. As you exhale, lower in even slower motion now. Palms facing down. Draw the shoulders down and lengthen through the back of your neck, tilting the chin down towards the chest. Good. Taking small chin rolls now, from shoulder to shoulder, releasing through the back of the neck. When you're ready, bring the hands back to Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice, and thank yourself for taking the time to spend time on you so that you're able to re-energize, recharge, and then share your energy with others. I hope to see you here again soon. Namaste.